Hello and welcome to part 8 of the Pokemon Gold Randomized Nuzlocke. Here we are ready to face Morty. And let's check out our team real quick. I've gone ahead and leveled up our team just a little bit. We've still got our Elite Source sitting at level 25. We have our Pikachu, which I believe we evolved last episode. I trained it up just a little bit. And then also one thing I've done is go ahead and level up Eevee into an Umbreon. So our team is looking pretty good so far. One thing I wanted to do on camera, since I didn't catch the Umbreon evolution, was actually go ahead and use the Moonstone to get a Nidoking real quick. So we're gonna watch this together. Our boy Elite Source, growing up. Alright, that's gonna be fun to see in battle. So before we actually fight Morty, we got a bunch of super potions, got a soda pop, we got some stuff for paralyzation, poison, and sleep. Maybe it's worth buying one more awakening. Let's do that real quick, assuming we can buy it in this, in Ecruteak. Where's the mart? Does Ecruteak have a mart? There we go. I'm just stupid, that's right. Yeah, let's get one more awakening. You never know what Morty's gonna actually have on us. We don't want to have any traps sprung. Man, I remember the first time I did this gym, how long it took me to figure out the pattern to fight these trainers. It's pretty straightforward from what I remember, but of course now watch me mess it up this time. Just a Houndour, not too worried about that. It's dark, so let's hit him with a double kick. Wow. Okay. Elite Source is one buff motherfucker. Porygon, nice. We can take this out with a double kick as well. You'll have to forgive that knocking sound. I have pretty rancorous roommates who like to have loud sex during the day. Just ignore them. They'll go away eventually. If you hear moans, don't worry about it. The apartment is also haunted by ghosts. Now that we have a electric Pokemon that knows an electric type move, we can actually deal with water Pokemon. Thankfully, we have Umbreon's Bite as well. He knows Bite, and we can deal with dark types pretty well too. For grass, we're going to keep Elite Source. I think we've got the best typing right here. Grass Poison. Sorry, against the Grass Poison like Bulbasaur. Okay, pretty easy first trainer battle. That's just a trainer, so, you know, we, oh, I guess we still got one more Pokemon to deal with. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. You never know what a gym leader is going to spring on you, especially since their levels are going to be a lot higher. And the Pokemon are random, so, you know, even if Morty's highest is level 22, if we're fighting like a level 22 legendary, it could get pretty tricky. Or a Pokemon for which we're just not really prepared in terms of typing. For example, for a while, we couldn't really deal with ghost types at all. Luckily, like I said, we have Umbreon. It's got some dark moves now. Alright, how are we going to deal with this Dragonite? What can Dragonite use against us? I think it will only learn Dragon moves naturally, / some normal and flying moves. I don't think we have much to be worried about here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the Dexter entry just to make sure. If I recall correctly, I believe. Okay, good. I was just checking that flying was not super effective against poison. And it's also not super effective against ground. Okay, that's good. And then Dragonite. At level 20. Will only know Thunder Wave, Twister, Leer, and Wrap. So we should be able to take care of it with Leetsaurus. Hocus Pocus would be a good choice here too. We could probably knock it out in a couple Thunderbolts. I am starting to miss our Dragonite, having seen this one. That fucking Fortress, man, using self-destruct on us. Hopefully, we have learned our lesson moving forward. When our Pokemon die, it always sucks in a Nuzlocke. But to fail to learn from our mistakes is truly the disservice that we have, that we can bring under those Pokemon. Ah, yes. There we go. Told you I'd screw it up. What we got? We got a Gligar. This Gligar's like something weird, like ground flying. We're gonna stick with Leetsaurus. Leetsaurus was our lowest level Pokemon right now, so it's good to train Leetsaurus up a little bit while we can. Looks like he's able to tank hits pretty well too after evolving into Nidoking. I'm pretty pleased about that. Was that just one Pokemon? Now we go right. Interesting how the sprite for Morty looks a lot like the sprite for, in Pokemon Crystal, in the Burnt Tower, there is, like some kind of robber or something. Like there's like that type of trainer class. It's like robber or burglar maybe? I feel like Morty looks a lot like the sprite for Burglar. I didn't really consider that Krabby could have used a water move here. I was sort of doing that thing where I'm just hitting the A button and narrating and not really thinking about what's going on in the battle. But we're not going to make that same mistake this time. We're gonna go ahead. Oh man, I love that Hocus Pocus knows Thunderbolt. Now, I just love being able to use this. After not being able to use it for, God, like 15 levels, I just had to switch train this thing. Ninetales. Who do we think would resist fire the best? Or maybe we could check out... Oh! I meant to actually check out stats there, but that's okay. Maybe you can't check out stats when you're switching, trying to decide when to switch Pokemon like that. We're gonna go ahead and Confuse Ray it. I think what we want to do though against Pokemon where we don't have types covered very well, like Ninetales for example, is we would want to pick a Pokemon with higher special defense, given that we're gonna get hit with some fire moves. So one thing to look out for us. So does Safeguard prevent against confusion? You know, just because I'm feeling good about this battle, we're gonna try it. I feel like Safeguard prevents against this kind of thing. Yes, okay, just making sure. I just wanted to know that for future battles, so if it ever came down to the wire, we'd be prepared with that knowledge. Still feeling good about it. We're gonna quick attack to finish this off. We got our own quick attack. Luckily, we didn't get hit by any fire moves. I believe Umbreon has a pretty high special defense. We're gonna check that out after this battle. It's pretty useful to know which Pokemon have high defense and high special defense on our particular team. So Looks like Nidoking has equal special and physical defense. Pikachu has much higher special defense. And Umbreon has noticeably higher special defense as well. Okay, that's good. So we are likely going to need some physical defenders. I would love to train up our Scyther in our PC. I actually picked up a metal coat while finding just random items scattered throughout the Pokemon world, which means that we could get a Scizor. And as we begin to fight Morty, I'm going to check on that Dex entry for Scizor, just to make sure that I'm remembering correctly about his... Yeah, so he has he's a ridiculously high physical attack and pretty darn good physical defense. So I think a Scizor would be really nice to pick up. That would prevent us from moves like, well, we'd fare much better against moves like Explosion or Self-Destruct. Those moves are just really starting to scare me ever since it happened to the Dragonite. I mean, we lost Dragonite pretty early after we got him, so I'm not too concerned about that, but I would hate for it to happen late in the game. Morty starts with a Pseudo-Widow. I feel like for being a randomized game where there are, like I said, 251 different Pokemon we could see for trainers and in the wild, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like our variety has been pretty low this playthrough. We've seen quite a bit amount of Pseudo-Widows, considering... Oh, nice. Hocus Pocus can take care of this. Just considering it's funny because of the Pseudo-Widow sort of that joins Eggerteak, Goldenrod, and Violet, and we didn't get to see it there, but we're seeing it plenty elsewhere. I guess there's just like a bunch of random Pokemon that I forget about from this generation, but it seems like I'm encountering mostly familiar ones. But every so often we'll come across a random one, like, you know, I'm thinking the ones that you only see like once in the game, like you see Murkrow when you fight Agatha in the Elite Four. The evolved form of Gligar, is that even in this generation? Like Gliscor or something like that? Oh, yeah, it doesn't even look like Gligar has an evolution in this game. Okay, we were prepared with an Awakening, just in case we got hit with that sleep. Pretty powerful Wigglytuff, but we took care of it. And a Tentacruel. Let's bring in Hocus Pocus. Honestly, we haven't seen, like I said, a ton of variety in the typing. We've seen a lot of water Pokemon, we've seen a lot of normal Pokemon, we've seen a lot of rock Pokemon. But based on the types we have been seeing, I say we're covering a lot of cases here. We're missing some obvious ones. For example, we don't have much in the way to deal with... We should be able to survive even a crit in case we don't finish off with this Thunderbolt. Okay, we did. Oh, we got a crit ourselves. I was gonna say, I didn't think that would kill. So yeah, just going back to what else I thought we needed, it would be nice to have a Steel type, which we can use Scizor for. It'd be great to have a Flying type, and then I think it'd also be great to have a Ground type. And we actually have a Ground type, I just realized. We just don't have any Ground type moves. Let's see what Morty gives. So Morty gives us Endure. I'm not sure if Endure is strategically useful in Nuzlocke. I feel like it has the potential to be. We'll hold on to it for now, but we're gonna heal up. And let's go ahead and pick up some more super potions from that battle we just won. Maybe some extra Great Balls too. We're definitely starting to get to the point where we have a little bit of money to spend in various situations. So I just want to take advantage of that, making sure that we always have super potions and balls ready to for encounters and for tough battles. So I took care of Burnt Tower, I believe, off camera, so we don't have to go there. And like I said, I believe in the last video, I went through and I sweeped all the trainers on the route to Olivine. Get out of here. Also, in order to train up our Eevee into an Umbreon and just to kind of get our team ready for Morty, I took out all the trainers in the lighthouse, which means that I believe the next thing for us to do is to head to Chainwood. CIANWOOD? I think it's CIANWOOD because all the towns are based off of colors, but I guess like the CIA I just think of as like a ch sound, kind of like an Italian. Oh, we might get a rod here. Super rod? Oh, a good rod. Okay, we don't get the super rod. Super rod must be the highest tier rod. So none of our Pokemon know Surf yet, so this might be a good time to dish out this HM. Of the Pokemon on our team, I'm actually comfortable giving it to Elite Saurus. I sort of view Nidoking as a jack of all trades type Pokemon. However, let's check Nidoking's special attack just to make sure that it's going to actually benefit from a move like Surf. So it's pretty good. It looks like Nidoking's stats are maybe a little more balanced than I thought. We're gonna go ahead and teach Surf to Nidoking. I like Surf as a move. I think it's really useful, especially in the earlier generations. You know, 100% accuracy, pretty high power from what I remember. Yes. And we're gonna take away Tackle, I think is our least useful move here. We want to make sure Nidoking knows a poison and ground move for those stab, for stab. I would like to keep a fighting move on him as well, just because I don't anticipate picking up a fighting type Pokemon. And lastly, Surf could be Nidoking's final move, because I also don't anticipate picking up a water Pokemon. We did get Rock Smash off screen, so we have Rock Smash that cleared out Burnt Tower that way. Let's check our map. Actually, I just wanted to make sure there was nothing else that we could really go to. Yeah, we hit Burn Tower. Oh, Tin Tower. That's where Ho-Oh resides. That's right. So we've done this area. Sprout Tower. Looks like we've gone through everything we can go through so far. I think the map sort of points you in almost the right order, but also kind of like with locale, the different ways you have to go. So it looks like we need to pass through Route 40 and Route 41 to get to CIANWOOD. And we'll fight some of these trainers along the way. So what we'll probably do for the rest of the episode is start heading this way through these routes. We'll fight some of the trainers. We'll get our encounter for this route and possibly the next one if we get there in time. But when we run out of time for this episode, I'll just go ahead and finish off all the trainers on the way to CIANWOOD. I believe CIANWOOD it's kind of like a weird thing where you can do the gyms in either order maybe, but we'll probably start the episode, if we can, doing the gym in CIANWOOD. Nice, we get to use Surf right away in battle. That's pretty great. I gotta say, I love Surf as the move. That animation is satisfying. I appreciate it. I will say it's a little long, but nonetheless, like I said, I do appreciate it as an animation. Wow, Horn Attack is still really crushing. Although we are 8 levels higher, but that's not a ton higher. I guess it's all relative. We are not your uncle. We're not related to you in any way. The swimmer sprites all look like Misty to me, except with like green hair. Does anyone else get that vibe? Chat, what do you think? Okay, so we're resistant to thunder type moves. We shouldn't have a problem with this battle. A ground move would be nice here. We'll just go for double kick. It occurs to me that ground is the only thing super effective against electric. And not only that, it totally resists electric. The more you know. The more I know. I know you guys probably all know a lot more than I do. You're watching me, an idiot, play this game. It's funny, in areas like this, here's our first encounter by the way, in areas like this where there's not many trainers around or any trainers around, it doesn't always look like we're moving in the water. Interesting. Because it's randomized and it's daytime, we find a Noctowl where we normally wouldn't and it's asleep. That's so cool. Let's give it one horn attack and then we'll try to catch it. Unfortunately, since it's asleep, we can't see what level it is. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Okay. To be honest, I wasn't super psyched about a Noctowl. I know I say that, and probably the people who really play Nuzlocke a lot are thinking, it shouldn't matter, I should always have a backup plan. And you have to, you have to savor every single capture. I respect you for that attitude. It's a little too much for me. I'm more hoping to build a team of Pokemon that I really like to use, as opposed to feel that I have to use. And I guess my strategy is I'll tend to overlevel in preparation for tough battles rather than having sort of a reserve of Pokemon. I know that anything can happen, but I find it pretty unlikely that if I get to the point where I only have, let's say, like a Noctowl and, let's keep in Leetsaurus for Wigglytuff, and some other Pokemon that I just don't consider very good, I'm just not sure that the playthrough can be saved at that point. It's almost just prolonging the inevitable. And so in that respect, I don't necessarily mind if we accidentally kill wild Pokemon that aren't very strong for our encounters. Obviously, Pokemon isn't all about strength, but when you're playing through a Nuzlocke, there are definitely trade-offs to be made. Don't get me wrong, my idea of playing through a Pokemon game is to just use the Pokemon that you want to use, irregardless of how strong they are. Irregardless is not a word. We've got a rock Pokemon, so we're gonna stick with Magcargo. With Leetsaurus, whoops. Oh, I just realized too, Leetsaurus has Surf, but looks like a double kick is gonna take care of it too. Surf would have been quad effective, I believe. Would have been the smarter play. But yeah, I once played through this entire game. Not this game, must have been Gen 1, with 6 Pidgeys. And I used hacks to allow them to learn any TM and any HM, so I didn't have any other Pokemon. But what that meant was, one Pidgey was stuck with Cut, because I wasn't allowed to catch anything else. I caught 6 Pidgeys at the beginning, and that was it. So one of the really cool things about that was fighting people like Lorelei in the Elite Four. And you just have... Sorry, that was my phone. And you just have Pidgeys. Okay, we should... Oh, okay, good. There's no ability in this game, so that means we can run from Wobbuffets. I want to say Wobbuffets trap you in later games. But yeah, imagine fighting Lorelei with 6 Pidgeys where Lorelei's Pokemon know ice moves, and every single turn, the Gen 1 mechanics where I think they were guaranteed to use moves that were super effective against you. So Gen 1, you would just get hit with like Aurora Beam or Ice Beam or whatever. And I'm going to actually switch out because we don't want to take on an Ice move here or a Water move. And I would just get freaking blasted. And I think my Pokemon were something crazy like 20 or 25, maybe even 30 levels higher than everything Lorelei had. And I was still having trouble taking out some of her stuff. I think I eventually gave up because I knew that grinding 6 Pidgeots to level 100 was just going to be absolute torture. You know, grinding them up 20 levels in like Victory Road or something like that. Especially for some of the Pidgeots that didn't really know many good moves, and I felt like I absolutely needed at least most of them to be much higher level to beat Lorelei. It just didn't feel worth it to me. Yanma, I think, has flying types. It has a flying type at least. About to confirm that with a Thunderbolt. Okay, so I believe we are almost en route. What is that? 40? Yeah, we are in route 41. So this will be, we'll just do our encounter real quick. If we have time, we'll maybe try to fight one more trainer. Dunsparce. We already have a Dunsparce, so we're actually going to just skip through this battle and see what else we can find. Ooh, is that CIANWOOD down right there, or are we still in the Whirlpool Isle area? This might still be part of, or the Whirl Islands rather. Wow. Imagine us catching a Wobbuffet. This just seems like poetic justice. I've never had this opportunity where my first encounter was a Wobbuffet. We're gonna take full advantage of this. We're going to... Wow, this is gonna be fun. I remember that... Wait, what moves do you know? Do you know Poison Sting? Let's try using our Parasect, or do we want Milk Nugget out there? Let's send out Milk Nugget. I'm not sure what Wobbuffet's capture rate is. 45, okay. So, if I remember correctly, we were able to Poison Sting this thing down, and it kept trying to use Mirror Coat. Aha! So, I guess we gotta try to catch this thing quickly. It just occurred to me, fastballs, I thought fastballs were one of those things that they were... It's just a Master Ball. That's all it is. Fastball is literally just a Master Ball. You saw it first here. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, Wobbuffet looks like a ghost in this game. I've never seen its sprite. That's the cool thing about playing this game on randomized mode, is you never see the sprites for Pokemon that would be really, really difficult to get, especially on like your first playthrough. And I don't know many people, myself, who complete the Pokedex in these kinds of games. So we're gonna name our Wobbuffet. I like this name. Let's call it. Let's Freak. Just because Wobbuffet is a freaking pain, and when I send it out, it's gonna get freaky. That's for sure. Looks like this is probably a good place to stop the episode. So the next time we come back, I'm gonna have probably wiped off all the trainers in Route 41 and 42. We're going to be in CIANWOOD, and I'll take care of anything we need to, like getting the medicine. I'll try to save the getting the Shuckle for on camera, as long as I remember, and that way it can be a surprise for everybody what that Pokemon is. And then after that, we'll take on the gym. So I'll see you in the next episode.